guys know a half Nelson, just a little bit of emphasis on a few points on your half Nelson. Gio's going to go under the arm and over the head. Go in your half, and he's got to be on the same side as that half, right? And he's going to try to lock up his half, not on the neck, but on the crown of the head. So he wants his head here. This is Gene Mills' special. And this is what I've taught for years that's been super successful. Whatever you want to teach kids to do with this other arm, I don't really like grabbing that wrist and pulling it in because newer wrestlers tend to get flipped over there. So I tend to teach this to newer wrestlers is to take your hand, all the weight of your body, from your toes and everything else, and stick his head to the mat. And if you can do that, you can stick his head to the mat and run his body over his head. Go ahead. Stick his head to the mat, run his body over his head. He sinks back chest to chest. Teach him what a reverse half is here, and how to get chest to chest. Now, on your knees. So, Al, let's get you facing the camera. On your knees. So how do you throw it? Same thing. It's probably more important to stick his head to the mat on his knees. So oftentimes you'll throw a half, and even beginning wrestlers will come up to their knees. Throw your half. Two things. One, you'll never, ever score a half Nelson on a strong human being if your hips are behind his. So you have to be off to the side. And now you have to think about how much weight you're putting on this head. Put all of your weight from your toes all the way to your hand onto the head. Stick his head to the mat. Stick his head to the mat. Run him over his own head. Chest to chest. Come on up, do it again. Let's start on your belly, and now this time you build up hard to your knees. So Gio's throwing his half. If he throws it from the back, nothing's going to happen. He's got to be on the side. Right here. Don't go behind him. Don't go behind him because then you're going to lose all your weight. All of your weight goes to your hand that's on his head and sticks his head to the mat. Do it. Get out there in front. There you go. Money. Okay. Butcher crossface series. Al, go down. Al, remember to be stiff on this one. So one emphasis on this is we need a partner that stays solid, rock solid here. He's going to go to his cross face, across the face, lock that tricep, and his goal when he takes this cross face is to not get penalized, but it is to stick Alex's head to the mat. Come over there and do it again. I want you to hit him pretty hard with it. Yep, stick his head to the mat. See what he did? Now, if he can stick Alex's head to the mat, he can start his butcher. And what he's going to do is he's going to take this knee and he's going to bump this arm. Now he's going to take this free hand, he's going to go underneath, and he's going to lock it to his other hand. Right? And as he does that, he's going to corkscrew around, and his goal is going to be to get his head up and across, to keep his weight on it. Keep his head up and across to the other side. Good. Come on up. Let's do that again. Stick his head to the mat, cross face hard, stick his head to the mat. Run your hip right into his arm. There you go. Now, start running around him, and as you do that, bring your arm all the way across, and your head comes across his belly. Okay, break him on up. Now what happens if you go hard cross face and he fights the butcher? And he fights the butcher and he starts putting this leg out here. Now he's ripe for a cross face cradle. So, and you guys spin, can you guys spin that way? Yep, keep going, keep going, keep going. So now he's fighting the butcher this way. Probably won't give him quite that much. Post his hand on the mat, get out toward his head, run his head to his knee, lock on your own wrist. Keep that. There you go, lock on your own wrist. Switch your hips, pull them in, bottom knee in the ribs. So that's your butcher crossface cradle series. So now, this is just a positional drill. I'm going to call near side cradle, far side cradle, near side cradle, far side cradle. So we're going to put this on, we'll blow the whistle, ready, near side cradle. And all Alex is going to do is think about crunching his head to his knee, locking his hand. This for beginning wrestlers, this is a really important position that they understand what a cradle feels like. You're going to get kids that kind of get their arms all messed up. So we'll go inside cradle, then we'll say, near side cradle, then we'll say far side cradle. So he switches, brings the head to the other knee, locks his hands. Inside cradle. or sorry, near side cradle. Far side cradle. Near side cradle. Far side cradle. Right, and then the next level of this is blow the whistle, finish, or blow the whistle, go live. Or I'm sorry, near side cradle. So when Alex gets here, he locks his hands, he's gonna take his head, he's gonna put it in his ribs, he's gonna drive Gio over. As soon as Gio goes to his back, he looks for the mat and puts his forehead on the mat, tripod up. Come on over, there you go. Wants to get in a full-on tripod here. Come on over. Far side cradle. Gets a far side cradle locked up, his head's toward his knee, he's gonna bump into him with his hip. He's on the same side as his cradle. He's gonna bump into him and knock Gio all the way over to his back. Go ahead. Bump, 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 bump. Pulls him over, and he gets his bottom knee in Gio's ribs here. He puts his forehead in Gio's temple, and he squeezes. Mat returns. So, come on up. We teach a lift. We're not going to go over right now. We're going to teach right now as a hip crack. So Gio's going to be behind Alex. This is an interesting thing that works from the lowest weights to the upper weights. Really big for good guys because they have a hard time lifting kids. So some of your kids will be able to lift guys. Most beginning wrestlers haven't learned how to lift yet, and so you need a way to get the guy down. So what Gio has done is he's locked his hands and he's taken his forearm and he's putting it right in that hip joint. And what he's going to think about is he's going to think about folding that hip joint till it bends and all the weight goes onto Alex's thigh. So pull that in real hard, and then he's going to run it right over his leg. It's as simple as it looks. So come on up, and then what we'll do is, level 2 is we'll get Gio's hands locked. Right after you've done this a few times, and you'll say, okay, Alex isn't trying to wrestle, but he's not going to fall down. Ready? Go. Gio, yeah, that's it, Gio. Take him over, take him over. That's it. And Gio's got to learn how to hit it in a semi-live situation. And then the last thing, of course, is get him there, tell him no points have been scored, it's live. Okay, here's your basic stand-up. We call this an inside leg stand-up. He's going to, Alex is on Gio's left side, so Gio's going to step up with his left side first. Go ahead. When he steps all the way up to his, feet, go ahead, all the way up to your feet. He wants to be in a wrestling stand. If he stands straight up, he's going to get lifted. Come on up, Alex. Once he's here, he gets squat, he gets low. Go ahead, you squat and get low, right? He's going to take that hip, he's going to put, or take that hand, he's going to put it in his back pocket, and he's going to cut out. Right back to his stance, ready to score. There's your basic stand. One more time, hit it hard and fast. When you stand up, stay low. Go. Hips down, cut out. Good. Basic switch. Go ahead, get down. Alex lines up on Gio's right side. Gio's going to cross his hand over. Right? He's gonna lift his, we call this peeing on the hydrant. Lift his leg like a dog peeing on the hydrant, and he's going to throw this elbow hard into Alex's ribs. Alex, you're going to stay in there. Your hand has to stay in there. There you go. And he's going to look for Alex's leg. Once he gets to that leg, he's going to pull himself all the way around. Good. So Alex is really, and that's a great teaching point. If Alex doesn't stay on the waist, Gio's probably going to get separation again. One, but we need a partner that makes sure that he stays on the waist. Get in there again. So cross your hand over, pee on the hydrant, throw your elbow into him, look to, can you see this, JD?
Yep.
Okay, let's get you guys turned just this way, just a little bit. He's going to look for the inside, for that inside of that leg, and he's going to pull himself up, and he's not going to go to the waist. He's going to finish his switch on the legs. Go ahead.